How often do we take the time to listen to our bodies? And the other question of this video is, if we're listening to our bodies, how often do we actually initiate the actions that our bodies are wanting us to take? And so without further ado, let's get into it. Hi and welcome to Oak Door. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you. And it's interesting, and this is inspired by a conversation that I had when I was out and about on my nature walk this morning. And it is that, how often do we listen to our bodies? And even if we are listening to our bodies, are we taking the actions that are required? And I'm going to put my hand up. I've got better over the years, because I'm going to be honest, my spirit team tend to kick my ass when I don't. But it is that there is this push-pull that can often exist within us, where we feel that we have to meet our obligations and meet those expectations that we've set for ourselves and meet those goals and those targets. And yet our body is saying, stop, rest, relax. And yet if we do stop, we sit there and go, well, I've got this to do, and I've got that to do, and I've got this to do. And we go through that to-do list. And it is about the ebb and flow, and really taking it on board and allowing ourselves to live in the existence of that natural ebb and flow. And as I said, I struggle with this, and I've been practicing for years, and I still struggle. Much of that is because of who I am as a person, the astrology, everything that kind of goes with that. I can be very fixed sometimes in my own mindset, and I do have to give myself, if I don't give it to myself, my team does, a kick in the rear end and say, come on, you teach this, practice it as well. I did last week. There wasn't a video that went out on Thursday, and that was to do with the fact that the new moon energies were coming in, and there was a lot of information, a lot of energy shifting going on, and so my body needed the time for that integration. I can't deny that there wasn't a part of my psyche, that part in my brain that is so driven, that wasn't giving me those whispers of, you put out a video every Tuesday and Thursday. Are you really not going to show up on Thursday? Are you not going to put a post out explaining what's going on? And then I had this other one on the other side going, no, you need to rest. You need to integrate the energies that are coming in. And it is that inner dialogue that we're having, and it is mastering that inner dialogue. And when I say mastering, don't be deluded into the fact, because you've done it once, because you've done it twice, because you've done it 3 times, because you've done it 300 times, that you are a master. Again, it's that ebb and flow, the cycles, the turning of the wheel. And there will be times where we're flying high with it. And there will be other times where we fall. And it's about allowing ourselves to fall, knowing that we will be caught by the universe, by our spirit team, by God, whatever your belief system is, allowing yourself to free fall and do what is needed to be done. It's like falling with grace. And knowing that that is just a cycle, because as that wheel turns and you come to the bottom, so it turns again and you start to rise up. And I think the more we remind ourselves of this, and the more that we integrate the natural cycles of life, the more equipped we become at balancing those little voices in our head. And no, I'm not schizophrenic. I'm just honest. We all have those internal conversations where we're in battle with ourselves. And it's getting the balance. And that balance will change. There are some days where you will get on with the to-do list because it will be advantageous for you to do so, even though your body is feeling physically tired. And there will be other times when although you have that nagging little voice saying, do your to-do list, do your to-do list, you will say, no, today is a day of rest. Today I need to nurture my physical body. I need to rest my vessel. Nobody can tell you when, how, where. This is about using your own discernment, really attuning to yourself. But I do know that much of the stress and anxiety that many, many billions of people are suffering with is because they are no longer listening to their body and they are following an agenda. And sometimes those agendas can be an impossible agenda. It's about being honest where you're at and being honest about what you need. And I'm not just talking about what your body needs, what you need in life, what is actually a necessity and what is a desire. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with having desires and wanting to aspire to an increased level. That is what we're all doing. That is what part of the evolutionary journey is that aspiring, attaining those higher levels of consciousness, and for some attaining a higher position in a job. It's still that expansion. We're still talking about expansion and development of ourselves, whatever that is geared to. But it's about also having the discernment and being able to have that conversation. Why are you wanting that? Do you actually need that at this moment? Is it a desire? Can that wait until tomorrow? And yeah, we do need to be careful about procrastination. Mañana, mañana. We do need to be mindful that we're not telling ourselves, oh, my body's telling me I need to rest, and then we're becoming lazy in our forward movement. Obviously, we do need to be mindful about that. But let's also be mindful that we can very often push ourselves far too hard. And we hurt ourselves in the process. And if we're hurting ourselves, we are not bringing in that level of self-love that is needed for that genuine, authentic expansion. It's a balancing act. And it's not one I can tell you, or your partner can tell you, or your mother can tell you, or your father can tell you, or your boss can tell you. It's one that you have to have that deeper inner insight into yourself and decide what is important for you, what are needs and what are desires, what's important now and what can wait. And looking at where you are on that cycle, on that wheel Are you flying high? And if so, fly high, but remember to enjoy it. Don't keep pushing because you are flying high, because that is something I have seen all too often, is people give themselves burnout in those moments that they are on the top of the wheel and they're flying high. And then, by golly, when that wheel starts to turn and they come down with a crash. They don't come down in grace. And they're fighting. It's like a salmon trying to swim upstream rather than just resting in that ebb and waiting for the flow to start again. When we do start to align ourselves to the natural cycles, when we are in sync with the natural world, everything just becomes easier. There's a level of calmness. Your anxiety will drop. Your stress levels become almost non-existent. The amount of fear that you feel reduces. And I don't think it's because you become fearless, because if we become fearless, that brings its own levels of vulnerability. But it's you're taking away those mental gymnastics of either being in the past or jumping forward to the future, and you bring yourself into the now, the moment. What do I need now in this moment? Is my body wanting me to rest? Is my body wanting me to nurture myself? Is my body needing fluids? Is my body needing nourishment? Is my soul needing nourishment? Now that is the one that is getting missed out so much in society at the moment. Is my soul needing nourishment? Am I feeding my soul? And that will look different to everybody. For some it will mean traditional religious institutions. For others it will mean looking at holistic modalities. For others it will mean picking up a self-development book. Listen and take aligned action. Not aligned to the paradigms of what I'm saying or what society is saying. Aligned to what is necessary for you, that you feel you need. Because you're important. Your essence, your energy, your knowledge is important to the collective. So I hope that's of help. If you've liked the video, then hit that like button. If you've not yet subscribed, then please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Until next time, sweet souls, blessings.